Very good. So till now we have got an idea about what exactly the cell is, and we have learnt about the cell theory, and today we are starting with the cell shape. Okay. So tell me one thing, is all cell are spherical in structure? Whatever the cell may be, everything is spherical, or there may be a different structure we can observe. See, typical cell structure we will be studying like this also, this, okay. So we will study that about the spherical structure, but based on its function, okay, based on this function, many cells are processing different structure. Okay, remember, cells are not only like this in appearance. Apart from these spherical structure, there will be different shapes in the cell. Okay, in that first one we know that it's a spherical or a kind of oval in shape. So when we study about the muscle cell, when we study about the muscle cell, how it looks? Its structure differentiate again here. Okay, it's a kind of elongated structure. Okay, it's a kind of elongated structure we can see. Okay, the muscle cells will be like this. Okay, next another type of cell is columnar epithelial cell. So as name itself suggests that it will look like a column. So we are going to study everything in detail in the structural organization. Okay, different kind of tissues we are going to study there. Okay, these are the shape which is under the columnar epithelial cell. In the columnar epithelial cell, the appearance of the cell will be like this. Okay, understood? Then next, the mesophyll cells. Okay, that is the mesophyll cells. It will look like a oval. Okay, like this the appearance will be there, and here the chlorophyll will be present. Okay, like this the appearance will be there in case of mesophyll cells. Okay, and what about tracheal cells, which is found in plants? How it look like? Again, it is a kind of elongated. Okay, it's a kind of elongated structure. Okay, it will be like this. So in the tracheal cells we find these kind of structure. So remember, spherical is a typical cell structure, and the muscle cell will be a kind of elongated cell, and columnar epithelial cell which is having a column like appearance, and next mesophyll cells, it is having a spherical structure, and in case of tracheal cell the cell look like this. Okay, so can you tell me why these many diversity we observe during the cell shape? What is the necessary for a cell to become all this kind of structure? Okay, what is the importance of these kind of structure in a cell? ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಎದಕ್ಕಿರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು? A typical structure would have formed, no, like this. Why? What is the reason? Because see, because of the function they do. Okay, every cell, I have already told you, every cell is essential and it performs its function. How it perform its function? It should have that comfortableness, no? So if a muscle cell have elongated cell, there is a reason, and if the columnar cell which is having this kind of columns, that will help in the structure, okay, maintenance of the structure, and these kind of cells have the own function, okay. Based on their function, the cell have got their structure, okay. And also some of the RBC cells, RBC red blood cells will be of disc like, okay, it will be of disc like or biconcave, okay. It will look like this, okay. So RBC will be like this. The mature RBC structure will be disc like biconcave, okay. And when you observe about the nerve cell, okay, again the structure differentiate, okay. The nerve cell is the very elongated, very longest cell. So can you tell me which is the largest cell? Which is the largest cell? Audible for everyone? Yeah, tell me the answer then. Which is the largest cell and which is the smallest cell and which is the longest cell? Tell me. Don't know? Very good. Okay, smallest cell will be mycoplasma. And what is the longest cell is? Very good. Okay, nerve cell. And the largest cell? Very good. Okay, it is a egg cell of ostrich. Egg of ostrich. Okay, remember this. Can you tell me what is the size of mycoplasm? What is the size of mycoplasm? Since we have told it is the smallest cell. Oh no, 0.3 μm, okay, 0.3, remember this 0.3 μm. The smallest cell mycoplasm have 0.3 μm, and remember the large, yeah, it's near about same, okay, 0.3 μm to 0.4, okay, remember near value you can remember. Next, largest cell is the egg of ostrich and smallest will be mycoplasm and longest cell will be the nerve cell. Why these many differences? Why these many structural difference as well as the functional difference is because of the function which the cell is assigned. They should perform that particular cell, and to perform that essential function they need to modify their structure so that the things will work out very well, otherwise everything will be stopped. So to perform that particular function, the cell should adopt all these sizes, okay, remember this, very important, okay, understood now? Shall I rub this one? Okay, and remember one thing, the structure, because the modification is structure is dependent on the function, okay, whatever the structure we study, okay, whatever it may be, the function, ultimate outcome is the function. To perform that particular function, the modification will be done, okay, understood now? So now we will move towards the prokaryotic cell. So what I told you about prokaryotic cell in yesterday's class? Very good. Okay. Pro means before and karyon means nucleus. So even when we study prokaryote with respect to evolution, these are the organism which was evolved first. Okay. So because of that, the prokaryotes or the prokaryotic organism is not having a true nucleus. Okay. It is not having a proper or nucleus will be absent in case of prokaryotes, whereas in eukaryotes there will be a presence of true nucleus. Okay. So remember that. Can you give me any examples? Examples of prokaryotic cell? Bacteria. Okay. We call bacteria and we call it as a, very good, okay, very good, blue green algae. Yeah, mycoplasm. Then okay, then remember what is bacteria? It's a unicellular organism which we call it as a Monera. I hope you have studied about Monera, Protista, everything, no? And blue green algae we call it as a cyanobacteria. Okay. Mycoplasm, as we have studied, it is the smallest cell. Okay. So another example is PPLO. Okay. PPLO, which causes a lung disease. Okay, which causes lung disease. So prokaryotes are the organism in which the nucleus is absent, and the example is bacteria, blue green algae, mycoplasm and PPLO, okay, which causes a lung disease. Okay, it causes a lung disorder. Remember this. So when we compare this with the, when we compare prokaryotes with the eukaryotes, prokaryotic cell division will be very fast. So prokaryotes divide fast. Okay, when we compare this with the eukaryotic, the division will be more in case of prokaryotes, and the basically prokaryotes, that too in the bacteria, they possesses 4 different shapes, okay, or structure. What are those? First one, rod like. Second one, spherical. Third one, column or comma shaped. Comma shaped. Then spherical shape. Okay. So what we call this rod shaped structure of bacteria? What we call it as a rod shaped bacteria? Bacillus. Okay. Bacillus. And this spherical? Coccus. Very good. Then comma shape? Vibrio. Then this spiral shaped spirillum. Okay, spirillum. Understood? There will be a 4 typical different structure we can observe in case of bacteria, that is rod shape we call it as a bacillus, and spherical shape we call it as a coccus, and comma shape we call it as a vibrio, and spiral shape we call it as a spirillum. Okay, these are the different 4 typical structure of bacteria. Okay, understood now? Taken down? Shall I rub this one? Please have a clear cut idea about the prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, these are very important and basic idea about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So now we will move towards the structure of these prokaryotes. Okay, so first point I have told you that they are smaller in size and multiply very fast compared to eukaryotes. Okay, so now typical structure of bacteria are okay, this is a typical structure of bacteria. So when we study about the bacteria, it will be having different kind of typical structure. Okay, this is the typical bacterial structure, and this is the smallest, that is mycoplasm, smallest cell, and these are the viruses. Okay, so now we will study in detail about the prokaryotes. Okay, so tell me one by one, what are the characteristics we can observe in case of prokaryotes? So consider this as a prokaryotic cell. Okay, okay, tell me whether the nucleus will be present or no. Okay, no true nucleus. So this is the first point, no true nucleus. Then what is the fluid present here? Yesterday I have told you about this in the last session. Very good. Okay, then the cytoplasm will be present all over the cell. Okay, cytoplasm, presence of cytoplasm, semi-fluid structure which is located all over the cell. Then what about genetic material? What about genetic material? It will be like this. Okay, okay, DNA. Okay, the genetic material, DNA. So whether it is enclosed in a nucleus, just now we have studied that nucleus is absent, so it is present like this without the true envelope of the nucleus. So we call it this type of structure as a naked DNA. Okay, it is a naked. Okay, so cytoplasm and the DNA, the genetic material, and this genetic material we call it as a naked genetic material. It will be hanging in a cell because it is not bound with the nucleus. When nucleus is not there, then no nuclear envelope. Okay, no nuclear envelope will be present. And the special structure which we can find in case of prokaryote is the presence of plasmids. Okay, it is a very unique character to the prokaryotes. So then what do you mean by plasmids? What do you mean by plasmid and why it is unique to the prokaryotes? What is the necessary? Already it is having the genetic material. Then what is the necessary for a prokaryotes to have this circular chromosome, that is plasmid? So plasmid is nothing but extra chromosome. Extra circular chromosomes. See, why this plasmid is unique to this prokaryote is it has got a uniqueness because of the presence of antibiotic resistance. Okay, these plasmids are having antibiotic resistance. Okay, remember, it is a small circular extra chromosome which is present in the prokaryotes, and it is unique to the prokaryotes because of the presence of these antibiotic resistance. Okay, so by isolating these plasmids, okay, it is useful in the biotechnology and many other fields, because what they will do is they will take this and they will put the desired foreign DNA. Okay, they will take and they will put this desired foreign DNA so that while replicating it will replicate this desired foreign DNA, and they will get a whatever the DNA content or whatever they want they can get from this kind of technology. Okay, in higher classes we will study in detail about this plasmid DNA. Okay, remember, in prokaryotes there will be absence of nucleus. Okay, and the DNA will be present. It is not bound with the nucleus, and one special and unique character is present in case of prokaryote, that is it is having a plasmid which is having the unique character of antibiotic resistance. Okay, and the cytoplasm is present all over the cell. Okay, understood? Understood now? So nucleus is not present, so we call it as a naked nucleus, and the DNA will be present and the outer layer, protective layer will be present. We will study that bit later. So, and the plasmid will be there, which is helpful in the antibiotic resistance. It is unique to the prokaryotes. It is a extra chromosome, extra circular chromosome. Okay, and there will be absence of nucleus, and the cytoplasm, the semi fluid will be present. And what about cellular organelles, or what about cell organelles, whether they will be present or absent? What do you mean by cell organelles? What do you mean by cell organelles? Yesterday only we have studied about overview of cell. If we want to call something as a cell, it should have all the small cell organelle. It may be a mitochondria, okay, it may be a nucleus, it may be a ribosome, and it may be a any other cellular organelle. Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi, everything should be there. So I am asking in prokaryotes whether all those cell organelles will be present or absent. Can we see here any mitochondria? So cell organelles in case of prokaryotes will be absent. Then what is present then? Everything is absent. See, ribosomes, the protein factory will be present, okay, it will be present in the prokaryotes because protein is essential, no, it should produce proteins, ribosomes, okay. Remember, only ribosome will be present in the prokaryotes and no other cell organelles will be present in case of prokaryotes. Okay, when we compare this with the eukaryotes, there will be presence of many kind of small cell organelle or cellular organelles which is doing many different function. Yesterday we have seen that. In detail we are going to study in future classes. But try to remember, in the prokaryotes there will be absence of cell organelle and there will be presence of ribosomes only, okay, because it should produce the proteins which is essential for the survival of these prokaryotes. Understood? Understood? Any doubts? See, difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is very important, okay. Try to compare the things. When I tell you about the eukaryotes, you should compare the things and you should conclude whether these structures are present in eukaryotes or no, okay. Because I have already told you prokaryotes are simple organism and they divide rapidly, they multiply rapidly and their size is also very small. But when we compare to eukaryotes, comparatively the size will be a bit big and all the cellular organelles will be present in case of eukaryotes, okay. And another difference or the another similarity between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is the presence of ribosomes, okay, and the cytoplasm. In both we can see the semi-fluid material, that is cytoplasm, which is present in prokaryotes as well as in eukaryotes. But in prokaryotes, as nucleus is absent, we call it as a naked nucleus in prokaryotes. Since nucleus is not there, then the envelope, nuclear envelope will not be there, nucleolus will not be there, and nucleoplasm, whatever it is related to nucleus, everything will be absent in case of prokaryotes. But whereas eukaryotes, hence it comprise of nucleus, the nuclear envelope will be present, nuclear pore will be present, nucleolus will be present and the fluid nucleoplasm will be present. But it is all absent in case of prokaryotes, okay. And this plasmid is unique to prokaryotes, it is not present in case of eukaryotes, okay. Remember this, and it has got a unique character, that is antibiotic resistance, okay. So in the while culturing or while doing the experiments in the biotechnology, what they will do, they just isolate these plasmids and they just introduce a desired DNA, okay, so that they want to, or so that they can get a desired product, okay. Understood now? Any doubts? See, you need to tell me the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. When I teach you about eukaryotes, and when I ask you about the difference, it all should be in your mind. Okay, it should be in your mind so that you will be comparing the things, and don't mix up prokaryotic characters with the eukaryotes. Try to remember first by name itself what you mean by prokaryotes, okay, and then the eukaryotes. By name you can have one rough idea, okay, what you mean by prokaryotes, and this diagram should be in your mind while learning about the prokaryotes and the nucleus and all other different functions, okay. And also the ribosome is common in prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and this plasmid is unique to this cell, prokaryotes, okay. So remember this. Any doubts? So in next class we will study about the cell wall or the outer layer of the prokaryotes and the uniqueness of this layer, okay, and why that uniqueness came, and what are the layers which is found in the prokaryotes, and why these are different structures are present in case of prokaryotes. We will study in the next class, okay. I hope everything is clear. Have a clear cut idea about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. I have seen students get confused when it comes to prokaryotes and eukaryotes, okay. Try to clear those basics now only, and if any doubts you can ask me, okay. So we will continue in the next session. Thank you.